Welcome along, another West London VR race for you. Race 4.5, Series 4, race number 5. 4 laps here, and we start off in Taplow village outside the pub. So when you finish, you can go in there and get a nice cold beer. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult start. I did it on the RGT Magic Road earlier today, and you will need a bit of effort to pull up away on this one because it is this uphill climb. Now this is halfway up the hill that's going to be the dominating hill during all the laps, so you'll finish halfway up it and you start halfway up it, but once you get over this crest you've got a wonderful descent coming up. So we're in Taplow village and we're just going to finish off this half of the climb from the start, and as I say, getting off the start line will be a bit of effort compared to normal, and those who can cope with that best will obviously get a flying start. But with 4 laps there's plenty of time to catch up, and there's this great big descent that we're now about to experience as we leave the road through Taplow and join Berry Hill. Now Berry Hill is going to take us all the way down to the Bath Road, and you might have guessed by now we started in Taplow, which begins TAP, and we're going down to the Bath Road, which is BATH, and hence this race is called the Bath Tap. See this wonderful descent now. There should be a lot of speed here, and it goes on for quite a while, so if you're a good descender, then anything you might have lost on that grinding start might just be made up here. At the end of this we're going to do a sharp left onto the Bath Road, and then there's a very, very flat section as we go east to west along the Thames Valley, and then we turn left again to go back up effectively what is that hill that we started on. So in this preview you're going to see the whole hill, but only in 2 halves. You've seen half of it from the start, and you'll see the other half as we go up to the finish. The other half, it seems to me, having both ridden it in real life and on RGT, the other half is easier than the top bit. So when you are doing the laps, you will find, I think, that it gets slightly more difficult just as you get to the top, where we just did in the start session. So here we are, down to the Bath Road traffic lights, and a bit of jiggery pokery with the editing materials should get us through these traffic lights quicker than we might otherwise do. Look at that, absolute magic. That's why I call it Magic Roads. You can go through traffic lights without waiting. Okay, so this is the Bath Road. This is the London to Bristol main road. As I think I've said in another commentary, it's often known as the Bath Road from the days when Bath was a city to rival Bristol, and of course in modern age Bristol far larger than Bath, but I think we can probably agree that Bath is slightly better looking. Anyway, under the railway that does the same journey down to Bristol, built by Isambard Kingdom Brunel, and now part of the Elizabeth line, so you'll be able to go right through the centre of London on that line very soon. I say very soon, like all construction projects, its opening date is being delayed again and again and again, although actually I think this stretch it might actually be open. I hasten to say I think you can go to Paddington on the Elizabeth line so far. Anyway, as you can see, this is dead flat, so this is the flat section. You've had a nice downhill, a nice flat section, and then we turn to go up the hill. Like I say though, the hill is gentler between Bath Road and where we started, so plenty of spinning, and then just that one attritional climb on each lap 4 times. This route is going to be longer than most of our rides. It's about 18.5 kilometres. I did consider whittling it down to 16, but the 2 alternatives were not really viable, and I suppose the third option was to take a lap off, but that would have left it rather short. And I did think that as the race that we're doing in Belgium was slightly shorter than usual, you could carry a couple of kilometres over into this race. So anybody who's moaning at me in the last kilometre as it all gets a bit tough up that hill, I apologise, but you should have saved yourself from the Belgian race. 4.3, 6 laps of Ghent, a race that coincides of course with the 6 days of Ghent, the famous track cycling event, which I think is about a week after our event, so just to get you in the mood for that. So as you can see, still straight along here, nothing too important to report, but we are getting ever closer to that left hand turn where we double back. The corners are smooth, so it's not too much of a yank back, but there are definitely some bends to negotiate in the race, so don't think it's going to be completely rounded corners. This one is probably the sharpest, to be honest, because we've turned left and then immediately left, so it has the effect of not quite being a hairpin, but as I say, I'll smooth it a little bit so it won't be too sharp for you. So here we go, coming up to the roundabout where we're going to hang our left, followed by another left. Here we go. There's the first left, and you'll see just as we get past this building, there's another turning on the left. So as I say, that will have the effect of not quite a hairpin, but it, I say in French, I suppose. As I say, I've smoothed it enough so it doesn't, it won't rankle you too much. Now, to all intents and purposes, we are probably at the bottom of the climb, but this will only look like a gentle sort of false flat incline. I think if you look at the walls at the side of the road there, you can get a feel for how shallow the climb is on this early part of it. We go up a little way and we get to a crossroads. After the crossroads, it ramps up a little bit, and then after the start line, the finishing line, then it ramps up some more, as I've already alluded earlier in this commentary. So you can see it's slightly steeper already. It's a gradual incline, but nothing too bad. Just remember though that it is, you've got to do it 4 times, and it's a fair part of the lap is going uphill, but you've been more than compensated by the fast downhill down Berry Hill and the flat along the Bath Road. So here's the crossroads. Now it will gradually begin to sort of wind up, probably just past these fields here. We can see the trees in the distance. That's where it's going to start the incline up towards Taplow village and the finishing line. Beautiful summer's day we got for this one, and it's not a bad ride actually, even in the winter, but I always think the videos look slightly nicer on sunny days than they do on the cloudy ones. To compensate this, I do tend to set the races up using the Spring in Europe setting that RGT offer us, and these will be winter rides by the time you ride them, so I think it'd be more fitting to have the Spring in Europe with a dollop of rain in every race and a bit of cobblestones just to make it feel a bit more gritty. Grey skies that we're more used to in the UK here. Now, as again, you see the slope is still fairly gentle here, but you will be sort of very slightly climbing, so it's not going to be freewheeling time. If you're in a peloton, I think you probably won't even notice that this is much of a climb so far, but as you can see, the gradient's now just beginning to get a little bit steeper. So we'll gradually wind up, but again, the peloton might sweep you along here. So if you can get in the peloton, certainly for the early bits of this, and if you are going to attack, it's the top where you are going to attack, and you've got essentially, I suppose, 3 opportunities to do that. And of course, if you are able to get that really big start right off the start line, now you can see this is the hill proper now. We're going to go up here a little bit further and then turn left into Taplow village, so we're not far at all from the finishing line. So as we see, here's the left. The finishing line is, we can't quite see it because of the hedges, but we're almost at the finishing line. So on the finishing lap, you will have that left turn will nudge you, and you can see the pub coming up very, very shortly. That's not quite the pub, it's the next building along. Nice old-fashioned red telephone box there, I see. So there we are, that's the pub and that's the finishing line. So you can see it's an uphill finish, and remember that the left-hand turn is probably your marker. See you on the line.